So in this session, first of all, let's open this data, CSV data. So in this CSV data, it contains the information of all the Hong Kong weather stations in Hong Kong. So it's a Hong Kong Observatory and so on and so forth. You can see some of the information in here, like the latitude, the longitude, elevation. Yeah, you can read it by yourself if you're interested. So in this section, we want to generate a plot that shows some of the locations of these weather stations in a map. Okay, let's do some post-processing of the data first. So for example, in the type column of the data frame here, you can see these are the type of this weather station, like manned weather station and automatic weather station, etc. So, so I just want to categorize data by this type column. So here I call the function this is to call the type column of this data frame. And I use the asType function to change it to the category, data type. So here, you can see from here, I have changed the data type of this column to category. So you can see here the categories, it automatically generate a category for you. So this is automatic rainfall station, and then it has a 6 objects category. So basically all the rows contain only these 6 objects. And I only want to choose these 2 types of weather stations. So I applied the isIn function that we introduced before. And then I filter out all the station that has these 2 strings. So here you can see the type here. It doesn't contain any other weather stations. It only contains the 2 that I specify. And here I want to generate a map that shows the locations of these weather stations. So okay, these are the basics. So you create a figure first, and then the axis, and then some attributes for the axis, such as the extent and the coastline and the title. And here, you may not be familiar with this because this is called an iteration tuples. So this is basically a type. Maybe you can see the result first, and then I will explain. So in here, you can see I plot all the points in the locations of the weather stations, and I also put a name to besides each of the point. So actually, what does it mean? And here, you can comment out all these lines and then just print it. Sometimes if you don't know what this function means, you just print the results out to see what's inside. So if you print this one, you can see it generates a bunch of these things. So this is the row of the data frame, actually. This is the row of the first data frame, the first row of the data frame, sorry. So it's something like this. And you can see here, this whole thing is a tuple. Is it called tuple? Yeah, I think it is. And then it has some categories like index, names, and station code. And within this category, the first row is, it has an index of 0. It has name of Hong Kong Observatory, and etc., etc. And if you want to call, maybe I only want to call the name of it. You can see it generates the name of each row of the data frame from the loop here. So yeah, you can see it here. So this is basically a thing that I use to make a list of these things, and then I just automatically like loop over all these things and then plot each of the plots using the loops, and then plot each of the tests using the loop. So you can see I specify the longitude and latitude of each row of the data frame, and then I use it as the information, the location information to plot the points, scatter points here. And then test also, I also apply the name here. So it generates the names of these weather stations to the map. And in this plot, it is a static plot, so you cannot interact with this map. Sometimes it is very not really looking really good, because yeah, you can see the test is merged inside the dots here, and then yeah, you cannot see the locations here, and yeah, it's just not really good enough. So to better illustrate the weather station's locations, you may generate an interactive map using hrefplot. So, but before we generate the interactive map, we need to introduce a new package called GeoPandas. So, well, but GeoPandas is actually very similar to Pandas. It's also a package used to deal with tabular data, but in GeoPandas, it helps you to deal with the geospatial data as well. So in Pandas, we have a data frame. If we read from the CSV file, in GeoPandas, it has a data frame called GeoDataFrame. So this is the name of the data type of GeoPandas. So here I want to generate a GeoDataFrame that builds upon the original data frame that we have from here. So this is HK station filter variable. So this is the data frame that we contain in this variable. So we build upon this data frame and we add the XY, the longitude and latitude points in. So I basically add a column called geometry. And this geometry column contains the XY, the location information of each of the longitude and latitude of each of the weather stations. So I just print it here. You can see this is a geodata frame, and it has the original elements from the data frame that we generated in the last cell. But notice that we also have a geometry column in the last column here. It contains the geometry of, maybe not geometry, but yeah, this is the point information of each of these stations. So I use the longitude and latitude of these stations to generate like a point here. Then if we import this library, hrefplot.pandas library, it helps you to deal with, it helps hrefplot deal with the data frame or data frame data. So we have already imported this one like at the very beginning of the script. So you just run the cell here. So basically, this is GeoHK station. This is the GeoData frame that I specify in this cell. And then apply the hrefplot function here, .hrefplot. And here are the arguments that I add to the weather map. So here you can see we always need a geo equals to true when we deal with maps. And the tiles, yeah, these are all the things that I've introduced before, except for this one, because this is hover columns. So when you hover over the points here, you can see it automatically pops out the longitude and latitude information. And I also specify it to pop out the name of the stations as well. So you can see these pop-up windows here. It contains the name TC here, because it's the name from the data frame here, name TC.